Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today just a couple things I want to talk about, but mainly I'm going to show some 1888, the original Goodwin Champion cards. I'm going to show a few of those. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3. I got about 10 different ones I want to show you. That's about 20% of the set, just to kind of show some random cards there. But before I do that, I want to show this. And this is the Mile High auction. The reason I want to show this is because of this card right here. And that's a restored card. And like Mangini was talking about in his latest video about card restoration, it's been happening. It's been happening with some of the bigger cards in the hobby. And you know, nobody likes it. At least I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. But in certain cases, if they want to go ahead and restore a Hans Wagner and say that it is restored, if it's clearly restored and everybody knows about it, I guess I'm okay with that. It's the ones that are not. So I just want to show you, one of the things that I don't like about this is they show the card, okay? They say it's restored. I'm going to go through this real quick and show you. It's right in the beginning here. See? So there's the card. It says it's been restored. And it talks about the card. It goes on to talk about the card and on and on and on about the card. And again, it shows the same card. And then that's it. And it goes on to the other cards that are in the auction. So I think where Mile High went wrong is to actually show the card, what the actual card looked like before it was restored, so people know exactly what they're buying. Because this card, you know, if you really take a good look at it, you know, if you know that card, and I'm going to show you the original card, it just doesn't look right. Look at his nose. Doesn't that nose look a little off to you? Because they've recolored that. It just doesn't, it looks like it, but let me show you the original card. And all this you can find on that 54. This is the card right here. That's the card that was restored before it was restored. That's what it looks like. And you can see it there. So you can understand why somebody would want that restored. But personally, I would have liked to kept it as is, even though it's extremely in bad condition. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're going to restore a card, show it, mark it, say it on the slab, and if you're going to put it up for auction, put the before and after pictures so people can see what the card looked like before it was restored. You know, and then I want to decide if I want to buy that card or not. I want to see what it was and what did you do to the card. So for me, you know, I want to know what was done to that card. If it was colored, I want to know it was colored where. If it was trimmed, I want to know what it was trimmed. So, and I want to show you, I went through my grading submission to SGC that I don't remember when I put that on video, I guess about a week or so ago. And you know, just wanted to put my Hank Air in there. That was one of the cards I wanted to get slabbed. It was in pretty rough shape. And I'm just glad it got a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and display that there for now. But what I wanted to show here is that I went through and there was a couple of cards that I did not agree with. For the most part, the grades were fair. I agreed with most of them. But there were two cards that I did not agree with, that something happened. And one of them was the Whitey Ford, 1965 Whitey Ford. It came back minimum size. And yeah, it was a minimum size. I mean, I agree with that. But this Johnny Unitas that I sent in, and it came back a 3.5. I wondered why this came in a 3.5. And I had gone over all my cards carefully before I sent them in. And I expected this card to come back a 7 or an 8 because of the corners. But somehow, and I know I didn't miss it, this card was damaged. You can see here, it was creased here, and the crease goes through. I can't get a good look at it there. I gotta look at the angle. But either way, you see the crease there? Look at that. Right along the red line and right to the edge. This is a crease that goes from here to here. From here to here. I know I didn't miss that when I turned it in. You see that? And I don't know what happened there. I really don't know what happened there, but it's like a crease right there. So anyway, that's got a 3.5. And I'm gonna go back and take a look at the video because I did a submission video and I put this card in the submission video, and I'll take a look at it and see what happened with that. So I wanted to also share that, just something I had noticed. So what I really want to talk about today is I just want to show some of these 1888 Goodwin Champion cards. And this is the high jumper card. And the reason I'm showing this particular card is because says it's marked. And it's marked because someone back in the day was collecting the set back in the 1800s, and they had checked off the cards that they had in the set. So to me, this is the first, at least the oldest checklist, I guess you call it, that I have ever seen. So all the backs are the same on these. This is the same card. The backs are the same. And again, the grading is subjective, very subjective. If you look at this is a 5 marked. Technically, a 5 marked is a 3 card. Okay, and you can see it's badly marked, and it even has a little tiny bit of paper loss. Even that's a 5 marked. This is a 2. Look at that, just like it came out of the pack. And you can see the high wire here. Oh, here it is. It's laying down the wire. They would pull it up. It would run and jump into this little pit there. And these cards came in the Old Judge and Gypsy Queen cigarettes. And the color on these is just beautiful. You have to really see them in person. I should even take out the little plastic, but you can see what they look like. In the back, the reason it's a 2 is because it's got stain in the back and it's missing a little paper loss, but it's a brand new card, basically, right out of the pack. So that is the high jumper. The other cards I want to show you is here's the pool player. This is the Oro. And these cards, remember, were made in 1888. And the colors are just incredible. Look at the colors that they had to do on the pool balls. Each one different colors. And they had a suit, a button-up suit there. The pool cue. And again, the backs are all the same. And this is now one of the boxers, Mitchell. Mitchell was a middleweight fighter at the time. And he lost back then to the Jack Dempsey, the original Jack Dempsey, who was the middleweight champion, and they created a middleweight champion belt for him. And this is Mitchell. He was one of the top fighters in the day. I mean, you know, look at the artwork, it shows the muscles and everything. Another one of the fighters was Jem Smith. He was more of a heavyweight. And he could not beat John L. Sullivan. He lost to John L. Sullivan. And you can see, and he was a British guy here. And you can see the ring and everything there. That's Jem Smith, the boxer, British boxer. And let's move on to some to tennis cards. So these Goodwin Champion cards basically were inserted inside the cigarettes, inside the Old Judge and Gypsy Queen cigarettes back in 1888. And it's a set of 50. If you're not aware, it's a set of 50 cards. And it was all sport. It was a multi-sport set. So this is the long tennis. And you look at tennis rackets they played with, and that's how they played, dressed up like that. I mean, you know, with like a hat and all that. And there's Taylor. That's Taylor, one of the tennis champions back in the day. And now let's show you one of the jockeys. And this is McLaughlin. And you know, you can see the beautiful artwork. I've shown most of these cards before. I just wanted to show some random non-baseball, a little bit of all sports type things. So look at the artwork on that. You can see how beautiful that is, how the uniform they wore, I mean, how they were dressed, you know, when they were racing, and look at the other horse training in the track. And just the shoes they wore, just beautiful artwork on these cards, beautiful scenery. I mean, even the back, the sky, everything is just, you know, that's why I love these cards. I mean, I could sit here and stare at these for a while. But let me put it down, show you some more. Here's another one here that's really nice. This is the pedestrian. And these guys had to walk marathons and hundreds of miles. They walked for days in many cases to compete, walking for days, inside and out of the stadiums. And you can see there that this is outside by the beach. You can see the sailboat in the background there. And that's the shoes they walk with. They didn't have tennis shoes. There's no Nikes or Air Jordans back then. Look at the shoes they had to wear. But so cool, you know, how they did the artwork back in the day with the, you know, even the oak tree, everything. It's just the birds flying in the background. So I just love looking at those cards. I wanted to share some of these with you. And a couple more. I'm going to show you this one. This is one of the bicyclists. This is wood. And you can see it's, again, an 1888, the original Goodwin Champion set. And that is wood. And look at the bicycle in the back here. They rode that. That's the one wheel with the little wheel in the bottom. They had to ride those kind of bicycles there. And they would get hurt. They would fall down. So that's wood. And then the last one I'm going to show you is a 1888 sextant, and that's billiards. Now, billiards was different than the pool player that I showed you earlier, this guy. This guy was pool, and this is, you sink the ball into the holes. This one is billiards, which is a little bit different. You can see that they really only had red ball and white balls, and it's a different game. They didn't have the holes. It's just a different, similar to pool. And both of these guys, Sexton and Dioro that I showed you, they both played billiards, they both played pool. But Dioro was champion in the pool, and he was champion in the billiards. It's a little bit different game. And you know, they went all dressed up. You can see how in all these tournaments they all went all really dressed up back in the day, back in 1888. All fancy, because you know, they would bet and all that stuff. So anyway, guys, that's a little tour of the 1888 Goodwin Champion set, and a little bit of a discussion on a few other things there that we talked about earlier. So thanks everyone for watching. This is Orlando from Eclectic Stream. Everyone have an awesome day, and I'll catch you on the next one.